Aim for the Stars is, you started that 11 years ago, 2003, to support young women. You know, initially I think the focus was athletes, but it's now broadened.
It was never focused on athletes. No, it was always focused on young women.
Just supporting young women who need the support and don't always have it, and you often didn't have it. You had to work 4 jobs at one stage just to fund your ability to get on a plane and fly to some exotic place in the world and
I was number 2 in the world.
To strut a surfboard in a bikini and look hot.
It was a tough gig. Obviously no one else got it either.
So, I mean, it's fantastic, and I know there's so many women who have benefited from the funds that you've been able to channel their way. You know, you didn't have it easy. Nothing was handed to you. From the word go. You know, your childhood, you lost, you know, your adoptive parents, your mum died when you were young. You were in a very male environment, your brothers, you were surfing, guys, you had to deal with just all of the stuff that a lot of us take for granted that we don't have to deal with.
Yes, that's true. They don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Especially not in the surfing world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still the occasional hero out there that likes to drop in on the girls, but all around, I'd have to say that the biggest shift that I've seen in the sporting world within surfing is the understanding, acceptance and recognition of women in the water, which is so fantastic. Girls walk into school with surfboards on.
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, I'm so grateful for it too.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see all the work that I've done just go to waste.
Yeah, and even the money too. You were earning a fraction of what the guys were for a world title.
Yeah. Well, now the girls can earn in 1 year what I earned in 20. On tour. So it's a different world, and I'm really grateful for that. But back to the Aim for the Stars Foundation, the reason I started it in 2003 was 2020 hindsight. I took the time to reflect on my career and all the good times and the bad times, and a friend of mine who was a bit of a mentor at the time, the guy that worked at Macquarie Bank, said, "Why don't you start your own foundation?" I said, "Why would I do that?" And he said, "Well, no other surfer has, so why don't you?" Went, well, I love being a pioneer. I love doing things
I love being outside my comfort zone.
I love it. I love challenging the status quo. I love making people see things from a different perspective as much as I love being taken into that realm as well. So I decided that once thinking about my career and all the things I could have done, would have done, should have done, which is all ego-driven, but things that I really knew that would have made a big difference to my life, I thought, I'm going to start a foundation all about women, and it's going to provide financial support to individuals who have a dream. So the motto is dare to dream, pursue your passion, and aspire to achieve.
Yeah, fantastic.
Our mission is enabling and empowering young girls and women to invest in their future and fulfill their potential. That's all we want to see.
Yeah.
And we value, obviously, giving back and determination and all those things, but our ultimate goal is to change the lives of young women, to make them believe in themselves and to prevent them from dealing and suffering from the same level of hardship and financial adversity that I experienced in the early stages of my career. Number 2 in the world, earning $8,000 a year, working 4 to 5 different jobs, 60, 70 hours a week. Yeah. You wouldn't hear of that in the surf world today.
No.
And so I was frustrated, I was fed up, I wanted to quit. Unfortunately, one of my employers handed me a $3,000 check, said, "Here you go. I believe in you. Here's your next round the world air ticket. Yeah. Go for it."
Yeah.
And if I hadn't received that support, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Oh, that's paying it forward, isn't it?
Well and truly.
You know, and you never know when all of us have the opportunity to do that for someone else.
Well, the thing is, yes, you're right. We don't know because we're not aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
We underestimate our impact on people's lives, so we're not conscious of it.
That's such a good point.
And we feel that it has to be monumental to be important.
Yeah.
We think that it has to change the world to be important.
Yeah.
It could be simple as giving a little piece of advice or just lending an ear, or it doesn't have to change the world to be important. So one of the things that I learned as a kid also, I had all these awakenings and light bulb moments as a kid. I remember going up and asking a professional surfer for an autograph and got dismissed. And I walked away disappointed. And I thought, if I'm ever in that surfer's shoes, I'm going to make sure I take the time for people. Yeah.